I'm gonna try out your favorite here, this honey walnut, as it called? Is it honey? Yeah, honey walnut. I've never tried it before. I don't really like walnuts too much, but it's on a spread and I like it. Well, anyway, I guess we'll have to start from the beginning. Back in like 2002, we made like we were gonna make a horror film. I don't think I ever told Brian this, but like because we're talking about making a film. We just saw the movie Scream 3. And I remember this really well. We came back, me, Heather, Jeremy, and Pat. We all came back. We're like, man, we should make like an independent film. We had no idea how to make a film. I don't even know how to like cobble scenes together. You know how they had like the film, they had like a scene, then switch to another character. I had no idea. That's how like new to that I was. So I got me like a camera from like the pawn shop or whatever. So we went out in the woods and then we were filming like this little horror film. Heather screaming, Jeremy was pretending to be a killer, but I thought the whole thing was stupid. So like, and I remember I filmed Jeremy, he played Tyler in the film, but they filmed him as Shell Shock Guy. He had like this little beard and he had his army outfit and everything, and we're out in the woods. And he's supposed to be like this guy he thinks is in the war, and then like he's like trying to avoid all this gunfire. You don't really see anything or anything. He ends up like dying at the end of it, but whatever. But oh damn. I had a terrible roommate experience. I was really mad about that. Like it really like ruined my life and everything. And I felt like I was really stupid for what I did with my roommate experience. So I was like, so I wrote the script and I showed it to like Heather, like, yeah, we should make this, you know. But like the first script that I wrote was Losers Anonymous. It was but it was different than what the final film was. And I'm like, no. I don't think we're ready to make this, so I wrote The Roommates. And but when Jay read it, he thought it was a little boring because it was always in the apartment. And then so I wrote a couple off locations, which was like the retail place and the hospital, which was in the film, but I had no idea how I was gonna get it. I don't know how we're gonna film at like a retail place or a hospital. You know, I don't know how we're gonna get it, but we can try. So it might not be in the film, I don't know. But luckily I knew someone named Al Bellucci who was in the film, and he got it for us. He actually happened to work at both places, so he got it for us. We got it to the film, it was great. It was like one of my favorite scenes too. So, but like, it was kind of a disaster making the roommate films because like, well the first film was kind of a disaster because Heather used to quit every Sunday. Because we were behind schedule and she would get like really mad. I remember this one time she was so mad she was screaming at me and she kept banging on the car and everything because Jeremy had to go to work and he was really tired and we had a short filming day because Jeremy had to go home and go to sleep to go to work. And then she's yelling at me for it. It's like, what do you want from me? You know, we were rushing that day. In fact, we destroyed like that film that we never even used it for the film because we rushed it and it didn't come out right. And so that never went to the film. But like, anyway, we did get done at a pretty decent time. It took us like a month to shoot it, I think, a couple months. But the biggest disaster though, but a miracle, was the premiere. Did I ever tell you about that premiere? I don't know if I told you about the miracle of that premiere. Because back then, like back in 2002, independent films were not really heard of. We were like one of the very few people to have like an independent film show. We showed at the State Wayne Theater over at Michigan Avenue, back when State Wayne used to have like dollar movies. And so we needed a projector because back then the theaters didn't have a projector to show it with. So I asked Roscorp, but they wanted me to pay $500 for it, and I didn't have that kind of money. So I was trying to get it from the Ford Tel. Well, we got to the day of the premiere, and I had no projector to show. We got all these people getting ready to go see it, and I had nothing to show it on. But so I'm calling around, I'm freaking out, and then finally Roscoe said, you can pay for it when you bring it back. So I'm hoping I was making the money back from ticket sales. You know, it's like, okay, thank you. So I called Jay, Jay's like, pick me up, we're going over there. So I got Jay, we rushed all the way over to the movie theater to go get this projector. And then we got the projector, put it in the car. The thing was huge, it was freaking heavy. We got into the car, rushed all the way back, almost killed us because he was swerving in traffic in my car. And I'm like, oh God, Jay, we're gonna die. Well, we got to the theater, nobody was there. And it was like dark in there. Like, oh great, now they're not even there. We went through all this, nobody's there. So we went back to Jay's place. and we're all putting our tuxes on, and I was halfway dressed, and they called us and said somebody was there. In fact, the guy that played JR in the film had to dress me because my hands were all shaking. And I couldn't get the buttons in there because I was all shaking because I was nervous. That was no big deal to me, but like, I was nervous. It was my first time then. So,
how's it going, guys?
Justin, I need a cigarette from you.
I don't have any cigarettes. I quit a couple days ago.
Oh, you'll be back up on it again. No. So we got to the theater, and like, they couldn't get the sound on the projector. I remember I was standing out on the stage, and like it was like screeching in my ear because they were trying to get the sound up. So I was like, oh, great, you know, now we don't have any sound. But we had to get back to the leasing office because that's where the limo was. The limo driver was waiting for his money, and I didn't have the money to give to the limo driver, even though we arranged, because I already paid half of it, but we would pay the other half when they get there, and I didn't have the money. It was like $250, and I didn't really have it. But luckily Al Belushi was there, and he was able to pay for a lot of things. Al, that premiere made me broke. But it was a 5-minute limo ride, and we got to the theater, and there was people all outside the theater screaming for us that these limos were coming up. And we had an announcer that announced us when we got out, and they had like a red carpet, which it was pretty neat. I thought it looked like red carpet you see on the side of the road, but hey, it was red carpet. And so like they rolled out the red carpet, we were up there, and I was nervous if they got the sound on it or not. But luckily they did. The sound was up. We made our speeches in front of people, and I based my speech off of what Rick McCallum did for the Phantom Menace. Because when he went up there, he's like, "This is fucking awesome," you know. And it was a sold out crowd too. There was a lot of people there. But the amazing part about that premiere is that everyone was laughing about every scene. We've seen it 100 times because we had to edit it over and over again. Because before the premiere, they kept losing the footage because it was on my computer, and my computer wasn't made to make movies. So we kept losing it. So I had to put more memory into it so we could stop losing it. Because once it runs out of memory, it erases everything. So we didn't think it was all that funny because we saw it so many times, but these people were laughing hysterically at the movie. And so it was a pretty amazing night. But then Jeremy showed up after the movie was over, and people were crowding around him like he was a big star. And I told him, I'm going to make a big star out of him, and that night he was made into a big star. And then we ended up having to go through film festivals, which I never attended because I don't really like going to film festivals too much. But I know one of them was Ann Arbor. I forget the other ones. There was the Roommates Holiday Special too. Because years later we decided we were going to make another film. I was watching Star Wars. Have you seen Star Wars Holiday Special? Have you?
Maybe with Brian.
I have.
Yeah, okay, then I'll probably see it.
Have you guys seen Star Wars Holiday Special? You even know it existed?
I don't believe it.
I didn't know it existed.
So this is like the George Lucas film from like the 70s, 80s?
George Lucas, he kind of gave him the go-ahead to make it, but when they made the movie, he hated it. Told him they could only air it once, and that's it. And then he doesn't want it being aired again because he hated it so much. But I loved it because it showed all the characters back into it. Han Solo's in it and stuff like that. So I used to watch it all the time and show everybody and torture them with it. Everyone hated it, but I loved it. But so I made a joke. I was like, we should make a Roommates Holiday Special. And Heather's like, yeah, we should. So I wrote a bunch of drafts of it. I remember I wrote one where Tyler was helping a homeless woman from her abusive husband or whatever, or well, like a fight scene on a truck or something. Something like they were setting up lights, and then some kind of Bill was supposed to be like this Santa Claus or whatever. But the one that I wrote, we ended up filming like 5 days later. It was basically meeting Tyler's family. That was the big thing, meeting Tyler's family, his brothers and everything. And it turned out pretty well. I mean, it was a disaster every weekend that we filmed it though, because like there was always something going wrong. You know, like we went to Frankenmuth. This story right here is freaking hilarious now, but it was not funny at the time. But I knew this was going to be hilarious.
That's how most stories are.
Yeah, I knew this would be hilarious later on. But like, we went to Frankenmuth to film, and you know they gave us permission and everything to film there. And we had a great day filming. Like it was such a beautiful place to film. Well, I had permission to film at Bronner's. Yeah, it was Bronner's. There was Zenders and then there was Bronner's. So I had permission to film there, but at the time, you know, I didn't have a cell phone to bring it up, you know, to show them, this is the permission, you know, I would have to print it up, which I didn't. I thought the guy would be there, but he wasn't. So like, there's this woman that was there, and I, you know, had explained to her.
Shit.
Oh, this is pretty bad. This is kind of funny. This woman was there, and like I had to keep convincing her. Look, they gave us permission and everything, and it's on my email. And then she says, "Okay, yeah, you can go and you can film." So, okay, great. So we went to go and film like this Santa, because it was what the scene was is that JR was supposed to be like a department store Santa Claus, and Tyler and Shar was there, and he's like, he said Santa sees a ho 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 or something like that, and it's always, and then like she had to go sit on his lap, and there's like, it wasn't anything really all that bad. And she was just, JR was supposed to be her abusive ex-boyfriend, she didn't want to be around him, blah blah blah. Well, as we were filming it, as we were filming it, I kept seeing like all these heads pop up everywhere looking at us, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know? We didn't get very far into it, and then that woman that gave us permission, she's like, no, sorry, no. Like what? All we did was ho 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 at that point. And she's like, no, you guys, sorry. And then she ends up sending us to her office, and we sat down with this woman, and she's like, starts crying. It's like, you know, she starts bawling right in front of us. It's like, what the hell, what? We haven't done anything wrong, you know? She's like, I want to see that footage. I was like, okay, fine. Well, we brought the camera, but like she wanted to see the camera first. I had to go back there to get the camera. Johnny was like, dude, let's just take off and get out of here. Well, they got Heather hostage because they had Heather in there. Heather's being held hostage by freaking Bronner's at Frankenmuth, you know, and they want to see the footage. So like, okay, so I brought the camera, but we didn't have like the tape. So she's like, you gotta go get the tape. So I went to go get the tape, and Johnny keeps insisting that he wanted to leave. So I brought him the tape. The woman looks at it, and then all it was that ho ho ho. I was like, see, it's nothing that bad. She still starts crying, and then she kicks us out because we had to have the footage. Like, dude, we need this camera. She was gonna keep the camera. It's like, dude, this is an expensive camera that we got from Roscoe. You can't keep it, you know. So she kicked us out, and as we're walking out, all the workers were just giving us evil, mean stares. Yeah, like we ruined Christmas. So we're like walking out, and then I was telling Heather, like, dude, we're gonna laugh about this later on, and we did. But yeah, the Roommates Holiday Special was probably my least favorite out of the roommate film. I don't know how you felt about Roommates Holiday Special, but that turned out to be my least favorite.
Quality-wise, it's one of the good ones. But I mean, content-wise, it's...
Yeah, well, that's because that camera guy that we had destroyed some of the footage that we had, and like, I don't know how he did it. I think he might have left it out in sunlight or something, but yeah, he like destroyed some of the footage. I was so mad about that. One of the best scenes that you'll never get to see was destroyed. So, but we ended up getting it done.
It was just bug masturbating on some ornaments and projects.
Anyway, so, but I also remember standing in the rain, and the girl that plays Shar had a problem with Johnny, because Johnny used to flirt with all the women. You know, he always thought he was all that. But after I made that film, though, I had to make Losers Anonymous, and that was 8 months of shooting that I don't want. We're not shooting this for 8 months. We're gonna get this one done as fast as, at least as fast as the first film, even faster the second film. But that one took 8 months to shoot, and it was 8 months of hell shooting that movie. I had to pay the camera guy $10,000, which was nuts. I'll never that crap again. But yeah, I tried to make that. It took me like 3 times to make that movie. The first time I was trying to make it, Heather walked off the set again and took Jeremy with her. So I ended up recasting with this big, strong, pretty boy guy that does not fit the part, but he was a good actor. I mean, that's on YouTube also, those clips. But like, and then like, but the problem was that people weren't showing up on the set and everything, renting the stuff from Roscoe. So we ended up just pulling the plug, and I just wasn't satisfied with that. So like, I got her back together later on, and we're gonna shoot this movie theater sequence, which was a sequence that didn't make it into the film. We decided not to shoot it because it was so bad. But like, what it was is Tyler is supposed to be on a date, and like she ends up like, I don't know if I can say it here, but sucking him off at the theater, and then like Tyler like ends up like exploding on some dude's head or at the theater and everything.
It's great.
Yeah.
Hope there's scenes like that.
I mean, we have a theater for this film now. We could probably put that with Ramon.
Yeah.
Like, I want to suck off Brian, and I want him to explode on my head.
I mean, that works for me.
Let's see where it's something else, man.
Yeah.
So my camera was with my assistant Brandon, who's now Dominique, I guess. He ended up having a sex change operation, but like, I left my camera equipment with him, but he didn't have a ride to there, so I had to go and pick him up. Well, I saw my lead actor outside the theater. It was really early in the morning, and he was practically asleep. I'm like, look, stay here, make sure everyone stays here. I just gotta go pick up Brandon because we need the camera. Just don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna catch some Z's. Alright, so I go pick up Brandon, went all the way back to the theater, and he wasn't there. I'm like, where the heck did he go? I don't know where he was. I tried calling him, he wouldn't answer. And then the girl that Brandon got that I'd never met, she was supposed to show up, and she said she was gonna be there, but then she never showed up either. And all we had was some extras sitting there at the theater waiting to shoot this movie. I'm like, oh, great. So we tried calling the lead actor, tried calling that girl for the scene, and no one was picking up. So, and I remember one of the extras said that I looked like I lost my best friend. And so I had to buy them nachos or whatever for coming out, and I was so upset. And then Jay makes it worse, because I had the camera equipment from Roscoe, and he's like, yeah, why don't we get some masks together, some outfits, we can go out in the woods, we can shoot like a horror film. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Come on, you spent all this money on this equipment, why don't we just film something? No, I was like so bummed, because I wanted to shoot that scene, and I didn't want to shoot nothing after that. Like, you guys can, I don't.
I just like.
One of the very first things I shot for these movies was that Matt's Tricks porn. You know what I remember that Matt's Tricks porn in the first film? You know, that one girl that goes in there and she's like, I'm glad you're in here. I heard you can screw like a Roman god. Why are you in here? Why are you sucking my penis? Hell, remember that? It's in the Roommates movie. I'll show it to you. It's like, okay. Well, like, that was the very first thing I shot. I was like, man, I can't believe I wrote this. I was so like, I was so nervous about shooting it. It was a fake porn, like no one got naked or anything like that. But I was like, oh god, I can't believe I wrote this. But now I have another porn for the film. Osama bin over, because he looks like Osama bin Laden, you know. Osama bin Laden. With a porno called Lord of Gays, I think that's what they call it. Lord of the Gays or something. Stop it! He's hiding and he's gay. But anyway, yeah, we gotta shoot that before you. In fact, we didn't even shoot it here. Yeah, we go and talk about this kindness for weakness movie. I was getting into that anyway.
Okay.
The reason why I was making this movie, there's a couple of reasons. One, he's in film school. And two, he's a fan of my Lucis Anonymous movie. You guys should watch that. It's actually pretty good. Oh, then another person? Yay! Hello.
Hey.
It's Dave. All right. I'm a
Tristan
fan too.
Yeah. Okay. Could you just sign into that one sheet and then take a seat?
Sure, absolutely.
You gonna get one? Okay. Well, the reason why I'm making this film anyway, because I've actually stopped making films. After I made the Lucis Anonymous movie, I was done making films because I had such a horrible experience making that one. But the main reason I want to make this is actually kind of a funny story too. Michael K. One of the old roommates that I had, Michael K, came around and he tried to get back into my life. All this is on the script, by the way. He comes to my door and I did not want to see this guy because he ruined my life and stole from me and all that stuff. And I had to move back in with my parents because of him. And he comes to my door and he tries to apologize. Apparently he was in prison, and he wanted to, make up for his sins. He'd been into God and Jesus and all that, and he wanted to, make up to the people that he wronged, and I was one of them. He's like, I got a confession to make. when you got your credit card bill in the mail, I took that credit card and I spent $1,900 on it. And he's like, you can hit me if you want. Go ahead and hit me. And I didn't hit him, but I'm more of a lover than a fighter, I guess. But like, I told him like, you're gonna have to make it. You have to give me the $1,900. I'll get you the $1,900. And of course, his way of giving me $1,900 was to make a film together, and that's gonna make a lot of money. Like, no, you're gonna give me the $1,900. I'm not gonna go through work for you to give me money. You owe me that money. I'm not gonna get into anything with you to get that money. But he was still coming over. I was giving him a chance. He was on probation with me. Because one thing about him is he's really funny, but like he screwed up once. I was done with him. But he came over because like he's like, hey, man, you got any? This is on the script, by the way. Hey man, you got any like weed or anything like that? And I'm like, no. It's like, okay, I got a great alternative for you with weed. Right, there's this thing called Dex. And what it is that you go to the store, you get this thing called cortisone. It's this cough medicine, you know? And you get cortisone, and then you down like the first pack. The first pack was like 12 or whatever, and then you down like a medium-sized cough syrup. Wait an hour, and then you take the other pack. So you're taking 24 cortisone within an hour. This is awful, yeah. And my dumb ass is like, wow, okay, so it would actually get you high, not kill you? No, man, get this, dude. I was flying high, all right, because when I took this stuff, I was flying high. I was seeing the pearly gates. I was seeing Jesus, you know. I was flying all over the neighborhoods and stuff. It was great. I was like, dude, I don't want to be dead. And he's like, no, man, I was just like really high. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. I was so stupid. So we go to the store, we get this cortisone, and then like, go back to my place, and then I downed like the first 12 and I took the cough syrup or whatever, but I wasn't feeling anything. He's like, no man, when you take the other pack, you'll be able to feel something. And I'm like, all right. So an hour later, I take the other cortisone, I take the last 12, and I'm not feeling nothing. He's like, do you feel anything? Like an hour's passed, and I'm like, I don't feel nothing. I don't really, that's kind of disappointing. So he had to leave. So he takes off, and then I'm just left there, and I'm like, okay, well, that was a bust. Well then, not too long after he left, I did start feeling something, and then it was like the whole world was like turning dark, and it was really weird. I'm like, oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. So I was afraid that if I fell to the floor, that'll be it. So I turned on like the tub, and I'm looking at the water in the tub, trying not to pass out, so I'm afraid I was gonna die, because everything was going dark. Like, oh my god, this is the worst. I'm never going to take this ever again. I didn't think I was going to survive it. So I told him about it, and like this girl that he was with is like, you left him alone taking Dex? Yeah, I thought he'd be okay, whatever. Like, dude, that was the worst high I've ever had in my life. And he's like, no, dude, we got to take it together. That's the thing. We took it together, it'd be much better. So my dumb ass took it again. So we went to the store and we got it, but this time, like, this woman that was sold it to us, she was like, yeah, a lot of people are trying to get high off of this. And we're like, no, we gotta call blah, blah, blah. Because we got like 2 boxes of this and 2 cough syrups. It's not obvious at all. So we go back to my place, and then he's like, okay, let's watch a movie or something while we're taking this. I'm like, okay, so we put in Terminator 2, which I must admit was really awesome, because it was a completely different movie. It was like, for some reason, after I took it, it was like watching like an 8-bit version of Terminator 2. Nothing felt like the movie. It felt like I was watching a Nintendo version of Terminator 2 for some reason. It was really weird. But like, this is on the script too, because after I took it, because we took the cortisone, the cough syrup and everything, but I couldn't stand. So I'm like sitting kind of like on my hands and knees on the floor. I couldn't get up. And he was on the couch, and this is on the script. He's like, Mike, get up, I'm like, I can't. Come on, Mike, get up. You look like a slave down there, get up. I'm like, I can't get up. And all of a sudden, I started seeing like this fire everywhere. Like everything was like burning, and there was like this little like seance fire thing on the floor. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? Yeah, I got all satanic and stuff. So I'm looking around, and the place looked like it was engulfed in flames. And then I looked over to him, and he had like horns on his head, and he's laughing. And I'm like, oh my god, this is really weird. So I never took it again after that. But then he comes around like later on, and And I had my girlfriend over at the time, and he was like, he comes with those decks, and he gives me 60 pills, you know, of deck. I couldn't even handle the 24 that he gave me. He's giving me 60 pills. And I'm like, dude, I can't even handle the 24, let alone 60. He's like, am I gonna die from that? And he's like, no, you won't die. See, the thing is that you don't care, so you won't die from it. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. So I even asked like a pharmacist, because I was working at a pharmacy at the time, and they said, yeah, you would have died from it. And I was like, oh, okay, glad I didn't take it, because I didn't take it. But he ended up stealing from me, and I warned him too. It was like, if you can come back in my life, but if you go back to your old ways, I'm either gonna write a book about you or make a movie, one of the two, you know, and you're gonna have no say in it whatsoever if you screw up. So here I am making a movie about him. And he deserves it. So
That was your first mistake. Not only letting back into your life, at least you can make a movie out of it, but you were like, oh, okay, I'll just keep doing fucking DMX with you, like whatever, DXM, whatever.
Dex. I don't remember the full name of it though. I can never pronounce it. But never take that stuff. I would never suggest it. I have a feeling that's what screwed me up today.
I'm just not a fan of it.
You could get liver damage from that too.
Well, I mean, that's...
So I thought of this movie a long time ago. I think while I was making movies. I always wanted to make a film where Tyler was old, you know? And actually my inspiration for this movie when I first started writing it, because I always wanted to have Tyler like in that trench coat but with a cane, was DuckTales. Because I wanted him to be like eccentric rich later on. Like he actually made something of himself. Because that was one thing. It's like, okay, we can't get a woman, but at least make him successful in something, you know? Now, I was going to have him have a woman by the end of this, but everyone else kind of said, no, we should make him single and alone, like he's going to die alone. Which I thought was kind of depressing, but that was the general consensus, that he would die alone at the end of it. Like, okay. So I was going to give him a woman, you know, but whatever. If anyone is not going to have a woman, it'll be Ramon. If anyone's not going to have a woman by the end of it, it'll be him. Now, since we gave that part to Damien, we wanted him to play Ramon, and I tried to make his character, like, kind of more positive, where I'm not making fun of him, you know? Because he's always making fun of me, but I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and not make fun of him so much, but he's so easy to make fun of. But I tried to make it in a positive light for his character on there. But now that he's not in it, screw it. We might even change it around. Make him not have a woman at the end. But basically what it is that Tyler, it takes place like years after Corporate Whores, which is a book that I got published. And Tyler is now eccentric rich. He's big on his books and everything. I thought about having him be in Hollywood, but I'll make it even longer. I want to. But he has a hot caretaker now, which is actually based on a girl that I knew. And, but like, people feel that he should be with her, but he claims that he's asexual, which is a term that I heard from Daryl from The Walking Dead. I'm like, who says asexual, you know?
Lots of people do.
I'm like, who says asexual, you know? So I had to use it for it, because it's a term that I had not heard that much. I was like, okay, this term's going in there. So we played around with it, AFF. But this Bill character comes into his life, and like the Reverend feels that he should give him another chance, and Tyler decides he's going to put him on probation and give him another chance, but he's going to put him to work to make up for the money that it cost him in the past. But of course, Bill had another agenda, which was he was going to try to get Tyler to pay for getting his kids back. And he doesn't really want to make amends with him and everything. He just wants to use him one last time. And Tyler's dying on this one. The reason why I did that, because this is the last one. And that's my way of saying this is the last one. I'm making the character die. Well, he doesn't die at the end, but making him dying, you know. But so it's just like basically a bunch of different scenarios. The deck scene is in it. There's a few drug scenes in it. No, I don't take that many drugs or anything. I just think it's hilarious. But like the mushroom, I've never had mushrooms in my life, but that's based off Super Mario Brothers. When it talks about Super Mario Brothers with the mushrooms, that's where that came from. Never had mushrooms ever, but it's Super Mario Brothers related. Gotta put some kind of video game related thing on there. And then I wanted him, because every time we play video games together, is hilarious, so I wanted to put it into this film, you know. So it's kind of like a big memoirs and everything on here, but I try to put all the comedy elements that I experienced into the movie. But also feel free though, because I wrote this script that we can all have fun with it. So everyone who's involved, like we had like an idea to make the scene better. I used to be a real stickler, like when I made the roommates, even Losers Anonymous, I always wanted to stick with the script, and I didn't want to change it. But when actors were giving their feedback towards it, you know, and I seen it, a lot of times actors would have a better idea. I ended up using it, and I really love it. So yeah, feel free, if you guys had like an idea for the script and you think will make the scene better, go for it, you know. I have no problems with that. Because a lot of times you'll have a better idea than I did. So, but I wrote this one so everyone can have fun with it. And I think Jeremy, who plays Tyler in there, will have fun with it because he gets to be an asshole in it. And I think he would really enjoy that. Because I didn't want the Tyler character to be that passive-aggressive person that he was in the original movies. I wanted him to be a stronger character and not put up with anyone's crap. But I think Jeremy would have more fun playing that role. And I have not taken a bite of this yet. Because, you know, the Bill character is, I wanted him to be big and intimidating, and I think you would have fun with it too, because he gets to be kind of a dickhead, but like throughout the entire movie he's more, yeah, but he tries to, you know, trying to warm up to Tyler to get him to be weak.
He's kind of manipulative too.
Manipulative, yeah, exactly. Is that Kevin?
Yes.
Hey, Kevin.
What's up, man?
Could you just sign in right there, and then I can get another chair for you. Oh wait, there's one right over there. So you got one, and then he's got one.
Alright, so
if you guys want to go over that, I can start other people on other stuff. There's a Ramon audition, if someone wants to look over those lines. I do have the full script as well, if anyone wants to take a look at that.
Have these two read for Ramon though, see how they are.
Okay.